Most don't know this filing step. If you were born before 1966 and you're either already on Social Security or getting close to filing, there is one filing decision that could mean the difference between receiving your full benefit and leaving thousands of dollars on the table every single year. Not hundreds, thousands. And most people make this mistake not because they're careless, but because nobody ever sat them down and explained how the system actually works. That ends today. By the time this video is done, you will know the exact steps, the exact form numbers, and the exact phone number to call to make sure you are getting every dollar you have earned. Let's start with the number that matters most right now. The Social Security Administration uses your 35 highest earning years to calculate your base benefit. If you worked fewer than 35 years, they fill in the missing years with zeros. That pulls your average down. That pulls your check down. For someone who worked 30 years instead of 35, that gap can mean a reduction of anywhere from $150 to $400 per month, depending on your earnings history. That is $1,800 to $4,800 per year. Over a 20-year retirement, that is $36,000 to $96,000 less in your pocket, not because of a penalty, just because of how the math works. And the fix, in some cases, is as simple as working part-time for a few more years to replace those 0 years with real earnings. This is why subscribing to this channel matters. These rules don't make headlines. They don't show up in your mailbox with a warning. The SSA won't call you and say, hey, you could be getting more. It's on you to know this. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so that when rules change, you find out right away, not 6 months later when the money is already gone. Now let's talk about the single biggest filing mistake seniors make, and it costs them permanently. Filing too early. If you file for Social Security at age 62, your benefit is reduced. Permanently, not temporarily. Not until you hit full retirement age and then it adjusts back up. Permanently. For people born between 1943 and 1954, your full retirement age is 66. If you file at 62, your benefit is reduced by 25%. On a $1,600 per month benefit, that is a $400 per month reduction. That is $4,800 per year. Over 20 years, that is $96,000 less in retirement income. For people born between 1955 and 1959, your full retirement age is between 66 and 2 months and 66 and 10 months, depending on your exact birth year. The reduction for filing early still applies, just calculated slightly differently. For people born in 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67. Filing at 62 in this group means a 30% reduction. On a $1,600 benefit, that is $480 per month less. That is $5,760 per year. Now here is the other side of that coin, the part most people never hear about. If you wait past your full retirement age, your benefit grows. Every year you wait, up to age 70, your benefit increases by 8%. That is called a delayed retirement credit, but let's just call it the bonus for waiting. If your full retirement age benefit is $2,000 per month and you wait until 70, that benefit grows to approximately $2,480 per month. That is an extra $480 per month, $5,760 per year. Over 20 years, that is $115,200 more in your pocket. The question is not, can I wait? The question is, what does waiting actually cost me month to month, and how long until I break even? If you file at 70 instead of 66, you give up 4 years of checks. That is 48 months of payments you didn't receive. But your monthly check is larger. The break-even point, the age at which the higher monthly payment catches up to the money you gave up, is typically around age 80 to 82. If you expect to live past that age, waiting usually wins. If your health is a concern, filing earlier may make more sense for your situation. Share this video with someone in your family right now, especially anyone who is approaching their 60s and thinking about when to file. This is the kind of information that changes retirement outcomes. Most people guess on this decision. You don't have to. Let's talk about the earnings test, because this one blindsides people who are still working. If you file for Social Security before your full retirement age and you are still working, the SSA has a rule called the earnings test. In 2026, if you earn more than $23,400 in a year, the SSA will reduce your Social Security benefit by $1 for every $2 you earn above that limit. So if you are earning $33,400, that is $10,000 above the limit. The SSA withholds $5,000 from your benefits for the year. On a monthly basis, they may actually stop your checks for several months to cover that amount. Here is the critical thing most people don't know. The money is not gone forever. Once you reach your full retirement age, the SSA recalculates your benefit and credits you back for the months your checks were withheld. Your monthly payment goes up slightly to reflect that. But, and this is important, It takes years to fully recover that withheld money, and if you pass away before recovering it, it is gone. The earnings test disappears entirely once you reach your full retirement age. After that, you can earn any amount and your Social Security benefit is not touched. This matters enormously for people who are 63 or 64, still working a good job and thinking about filing early. In many cases, filing early while earning above $23,400 gives you the worst of both worlds, a permanently reduced benefit and a portion of it withheld while you're working anyway. Go check that bell icon right now. If it is not set to all notifications, YouTube will not alert you when updates like this come through. The SSA adjusts the earnings test limit each year. Last year it was different. Next year it may change again. You need to know when it does. Now let's talk about widows and surviving spouses, because this group has filing options that are genuinely powerful and almost completely unknown. If your spouse has passed away, you may be eligible for a survivor benefit based on their earnings record. Here's where it gets important. You can file for your own Social Security retirement benefit at one age and switch to the survivor benefit later, or file for the survivor benefit first and switch to your own benefit later when it has grown. The SSA allows this kind of switching strategy for survivors that it does not allow for regular retired worker benefits. For example, say you are 60 years old and your spouse has passed. You can file for the survivor benefit as early as age 60, even though regular retirement benefits don't start until 62. The survivor benefit at age 60 is reduced, similar to how early retirement reduces your own benefit. But here's the strategy. You file for the reduced survivor benefit at 60. Let your own retirement benefit grow untouched until 70, and then switch to your own benefit at 70 when it has reached its maximum. If your own benefit at 70 is larger than the survivor benefit, this approach can result in significantly more lifetime income. Alternatively, if your own retirement benefit is smaller than your spouse's was, you may want to file for your own benefit early, let it help cover expenses, and then switch to the full survivor benefit at age 66 or 67 when it reaches its unreduced amount. The form you need to start this conversation is Form SSA-10, the application for widows or widowers insurance benefits. You can find it on the SSA website at ssa.gov or call the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213. That number is available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. When you call, specifically ask to speak with a claims specialist about survivor filing strategies, not just a general representative, a claims specialist. I want you to share this section with every widow or widower you know personally. This switching strategy is not advertised. It is not explained in any letter the SSA sends you. It is simply a rule that exists and benefits those who know about it. Be the person who passes it on. Now let's talk about divorced spouses, because this is another group with options they don't know they have. If you were married for at least 10 years and you are now divorced and have not remarried, you may be eligible to receive Social Security benefits based on your ex-spouse's earnings record. This is called a divorced spouse benefit. Your ex-spouse does not need to be collecting benefits yet for you to file, as long as you have been divorced for at least 2 years and your ex is at least 62 years old. Your ex-spouse does not find out. It does not reduce their benefit in any way. It is entirely separate. The divorced spouse benefit can be up to 50% of your ex-spouse's full retirement age benefit. If your own retirement benefit is lower than that amount, filing for the divorced spouse benefit may give you more income per month. The rules around early filing reductions apply here too, so the earlier you file, the lower the amount. Filing at your full retirement age gives you the maximum divorced spouse benefit available. If your ex-spouse has passed away, you may be eligible for a full survivor benefit even as a divorced spouse, as long as that 10-year marriage rule is met. In this case, the benefit can be up to 100% of what your ex-spouse was receiving, not just 50%. That is a significant difference, and it's one worth knowing. The form to apply is Form SSA-2, the application for wife's or husband's insurance benefits. Again, ssa.gov or 1-800-772-1213. Now let's talk about Medicare costs, specifically the one that quietly increases your healthcare expenses based on your income, and the step you can take if your income has recently dropped. Medicare Part B covers your doctor visits and outpatient care. In 2026, the standard Part B premium is around $185 per month, but if your income is above certain thresholds, you pay more. This extra charge is called IRMAA, which stands for Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. Let's just call it the income surcharge. The income surcharge kicks in if your income 2 years ago was above $106,000 for a single person or $212,000 for a married couple. If it was, Medicare adds anywhere from an extra $74 to over $400 per month to your Part B premium, depending on how high your income was. Here's the problem. Medicare looks at your income from 2 years ago. So in 2026, they are looking at your 2024 tax return. If you retired in 2025 and your income dropped significantly, Medicare may still be charging you the higher premium based on that older, higher income. That can cost you an extra $888 to $4,800 per year for a situation that no longer reflects your financial reality. The fix is a form called SSA 44, the Medicare Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount Life-Changing Event Form. You file this form when you have experienced what the SSA considers a qualifying life event, which includes retirement, loss of a job, divorce, death of a spouse, or a significant drop in income. Filing this form tells Medicare to use your current, lower income instead of the older, higher one. It can reduce your premium immediately rather than making you wait 2 more years for the system to catch up on its own. You can get Form SSA 44 at ssa.gov or by calling 1-800-772-1213. When you call, tell them you want to appeal your IRMAA determination based on a life-changing event. They will walk you through what documentation you need, which is typically your most recent tax return or a letter from your employer confirming your retirement date. This is the kind of step that saves real money. If you went from $150,000 in annual income to $40,000 in retirement income, you should not still be paying Medicare premiums based on that old number. File the form and fix it. Let's also talk about the COLA, the cost of living adjustment, which the SSA announces each October for the following year. COLA is the SSA's way of trying to keep your benefit keeping pace with inflation. If inflation goes up, your benefit goes up by a matching percentage the following January. For 2026, the COLA was announced based on the Consumer Price Index, which is the government's measure of how much everyday prices have risen. In practical terms, for someone receiving $1,800 per month, a 2.5% COLA means an extra $45 per month, or $540 per year. For someone receiving $2,400 per month, that same 2.5% COLA means an extra $60 per month, or $720 per year. COLA sounds like good news, and it can be. But there is a complication. If your Medicare Part B premium also goes up in the same year, the increase can eat into your COLA or even eliminate it entirely. By law, Social Security benefits cannot go down due to a Medicare premium increase. This is called the hold harmless provision, but it only protects your current benefit amount, not the COLA increase. If the Medicare premium increase is larger than your COLA dollar amount, your net check stays flat. You don't lose ground, but you don't gain any either. The practical advice here is straightforward. When the SSA mails your annual benefit statement each December, compare the new benefit amount to the new Medicare premium being deducted. Make sure the numbers reflect the COLA you were expecting. If something looks off, call 1-800-772-1213 and ask them to walk through the calculation with you. It is your money and your right to understand every line of it. Now let's talk about people who are still a few years away from filing and what they can do right now to improve their eventual benefit. If you are between 60 and 62 and still working, every year of earnings you add to your record potentially replaces a lower earning year in your 35-year calculation. The SSA automatically uses your highest 35 years. So if you had a low income year in your 40s and you are now earning more, that newer, higher year can push out the older, lower year and raise your average. You don't need to do anything special for this to happen. It is automatic, but it is worth knowing because it means working a few extra years, even at a moderate income, can meaningfully improve your lifetime benefit. If you want to see exactly what your benefit would look like at different filing ages, you can access your personal Social Security statement through a free online account at ssa.gov/myaccount. This account shows your full earnings history, your projected benefit at 62, at your full retirement age, and at 70. It also shows you if there are any gaps or errors in your earnings record, which is critically important. Errors in your earnings record are more common than most people realize. If a past employer reported your wages incorrectly, or if there's a gap for years you know you worked, those errors directly reduce your benefit. The time to correct them is before you file, not after. Gather your old W-2s and tax returns, compare them against your earnings record in your SSA online account, and if something doesn't match, call 1-800-772-1213 or visit your local SSA office with documentation to get it corrected. Your local SSA office can be found by visiting ssa.gov/locator or by calling that same 1-800-772-1213 number. Bring your Social Security card, a government-issued photo ID, and any supporting documents like W-2s or tax returns when you go. One final area that affects a specific group of people and is very commonly misunderstood. the windfall elimination provision, and the government pension offset. If you worked in a job that did not withhold Social Security taxes, such as certain state and local government jobs or some federal jobs, and you also worked in jobs that did pay into Social Security, your Social Security benefit may be reduced under something called the windfall elimination provision. Similarly, if you receive a pension from a non-covered government job and you are trying to collect spousal or survivor benefits from Social Security, those benefits may be reduced under the government pension offset. Congress has been working on changes to these two provisions for years, and legislation affecting them has moved through different stages of the process in recent years. If you believe either of these provisions may affect you, the most important step is to call the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213 and ask a claims specialist to calculate your benefit with and without these provisions applied. Understanding exactly what your benefit will be and why is the starting point for making the best decision about when and how to file. The bottom line is this: Social Security is not simple. It was not designed to be simple, and the people who benefit most from it are the ones who take the time to understand their specific situation rather than making assumptions or guessing. You have earned this money. Every check you received throughout your working life had Social Security taxes taken out before you ever saw it. This is not a government gift. This is your money coming back to you. The only question is whether you get all of it or leave some of it behind because of a filing decision that could have gone differently. The steps are clear. Create your free account at ssa.gov/myaccount and review your earnings record for errors. Use the benefit estimator tools there to compare filing at 62, at your full retirement age, and at 70. If you are a widow, a widower, or a divorced spouse, call 1-800-772-1213 and specifically ask about the switching strategies available to you. If your income has recently dropped significantly and you are paying higher Medicare premiums, file Form SSA 44 to appeal your IRMAA determination. And if you have any reason to believe your earnings record has errors, address that before you file. Subscribe to this channel so you have a place to come back to when new changes are announced. Share this video with someone you care about who is in or near retirement. And if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. That is what this community is here for. Your retirement security is worth protecting. Now you have the tools to do it.